So let's talk about the strategy session when we met. My focus on the strategy session was to ask questions and listen and learn about his process. By doing that, listening and understanding exactly what he does, learning what information he gathers from his customers, I could figure out at what point that we could create something that could refer business to myself where I can help some of his customers. And we can talk specifics on that in the next 23 minutes, but that strategy session, by listening, asking questions, is what led to how exactly we were going to create the system. So after the 30 minutes, we created the system. And at the end of creating the system, he said, you know what, that's great. I understand the information that you want. I will tell my customer to give you a call whenever I see those system identifiers. And I said, that's not going to work for me if we're going to work together. And he was a little put off by it, but he said, what do you mean? I said, I don't want you to make your customers have a job to contact me. If we're going to work together, you need to tell your customer, being the trusted financial professional that you are for them, saying, I've identified some things where it may be worth my mortgage professional to contact you. I'm going to give him your information, and he's going to call you shortly in the next couple of days. And I said, that's what I want, because I'm not going to rely on them calling me. If there's an opportunity here for them to save money and me to help your client improve their financial situation, I'm going to call them. You're going to give those names and numbers to me, whether it's 10 or 20 people, I know that those 10 or 20 people are going to get contacted. If you give them my information and ask them to call me, one or two may call, and not as many people will get help. So that's the way we have to work. And that was the plan. And after we developed the strategy session, the system, and how those contacts will remain connected, that system worked for over a decade. Now, that was one CPA. I worked with two on a regular basis. And Howard was kind of a mentor to me in learning about accounting and taxes and a higher level, and creating a higher level of financial knowledge when it comes to doing somebody's tax return. My next CPA is Matt. Matt's a couple years younger than myself. We went to the same grade school, same high school. We've known each other pretty much all of our lives. He got a job at a big firm working for a senior partner at one of the largest accounting firms in Philadelphia. And we were at a party, and he said, hey, I need to learn more about the mortgage industry. I said, why? He goes, well, because I just wanted to learn more. I think it could help some of my customers or some of my boss's customers. He goes, do you have any ideas for me? Now, luckily, creating this system with Howard, I reversed the roles and became a mentor to Matt. And I taught Matt the things that I learned from Howard and the things that I created for Howard to help his customers. And I did the same exact thing for Matt's customers. And he didn't question the thing I did because I was a trusted professional to him. And that relationship went on for over a decade. And we just continued helping each other. Fast forward to today, I created a financial literacy foundation approximately 10 years ago. And I needed a CPA on my board. And I asked Matt. And Matt was more than happy to join the board of FACE, the Foundation for Adolescent Credit Education, which is my financial literacy foundation, where we've taught over 7,000 kids. Approximately, we're teaching 1,000 kids a year. And Matt has always been an added resource on the course that we wrote with a PhD in education, a PhD in finance, myself and Matt. And he's been an integral part of financial literacy in the Philadelphia area along with myself. So these are the two relationships where we're able to do that. We can go over the details of the system later on in 23 minutes. But the thing that you want to make sure of is that you always have your strategy session. Use the personality resources that you have available to analyze somebody's personality so that you can talk to them on a different level. And as we go into the other professionals, the insurance agents, the financial planners, and the real estate agents, how I was able to analyze their personality and move forward with ideas for them. And their system is different. Each one of them has a different system than CPA that we'll go into in those sessions as well.
Nice. All right, I am opening up the phone lines here. It'll take just a second. You'll hear as I open up your line here. For those that are joining us, what questions would you have for Chris today? All right, I think I've got
yes, I had a question.
Uh-huh.
I heard you mention, Chris, something about using personality tools to evaluate the people you're talking with. What personality tools or assessment do you use? Because I know that there's a bunch out there.
Actually, I think that's a better question for Mark to answer.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a number of them out there. The ones that I have used is what's called Personality Masteries. It's through Life Masteries Institute. There's actually a 17-second online. You can do it through a mobile app or computer. It's www.life-gps.org. That's life-gps.org. And in 17 seconds, it'll identify you or your, friends or your clients or, your employees or prospects, anybody you want. It'll identify somebody's personality in 17 seconds. Then it comes up with a 1-minute video on the personality that people are like, that's amazing. How do you do it? So once you identify their personality, they use 2 tests. One is the GEO test, geometric psychology test. Which of these 4 shapes would you tend to like the most? A cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball? A cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball? And then the second test is which of these 4 things cause you the most frustration? Things not being done properly in order, out of control, boring or not fun, or conflict. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you do that, it tests for 65,536 possible combinations. The most recent past president of Century 21, largest real estate franchise in the world, he went through about a 12-hour course online, and he said he's never seen anything so simple to understand but yet so deep. The course is actually through Life Masteries Institute. And so, again, we'll give you contact information where you can reach out to them or the person who connected you as well. Once you identify their personality, their strengths, weaknesses, what they like, what they don't, turns them on, turns them off. If they're married, who's married to, conflict of marriage, what to say, when to say it, how to say it. You know more about them in 17 seconds than they know about themselves. People will tend to think that the analytic personality is going to be the CPA. And that is generally true, often true, probably 50 to 75% of the time. But the ones you'll often be talking to that are most interested in partnering with you will often be one of the other 3 personalities. The analytic personality, typically as a CPA or any professional, they're going to want to, know history and who, and they like to have all their I's dotted, T's crossed, make sure things done properly in order. So often you'll run into outliers in the CPA world that are drivers, and one of their greatest strengths is their drive, their assertiveness, they make things happen. One of their weaknesses is their drive, their assertiveness, they make things happen. Or if they're a wavy line, an expressive personality, one of their greatest strengths is their energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. One of their weaknesses is their energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. The amiable or the ball, one of their greatest strengths is their concern, compassion for people. One of their weaknesses is their concern, compassion for people. People will tend to have a primary personality and a secondary. So one of the most fun CPAs you'll ever work with is an analytic and a secondary of an expressive. It's like crazy, like really cool. Or you might have somebody that's an analytic driver, an analytic amiable, or a driver amiable. So when you look at it, that personality, it's very important that when we're talking to a CPA or any referral partner, that we can identify their personality very, very quickly, because that gives us additional insight in how we ought to communicate with them. Great question, Emily. Does that answer your question, Emily?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions for Chris?
Sure, Chris, this is Elise. I had a question for you. So what would you give as advice to others who are maybe newer in the mortgage industry looking to make those connections that you did, but they might not quite know how to start that conversation that would prove themselves but also glean valuable information on another professional? Any feedback for that initial couple conversations?
Yes. So I've learned this through years of experience, and some of it had become by accident. So we'll go back to the accounting. We just thought the same way. So my value proposition to him was in line with his way of thinking and his personality. So when you're dealing with these people with different personalities, I mean, real estate agents are usually high energy, very outgoing. So knowing what your value proposition is to each different type of professional, but you have to learn what they do for a living a little bit so you can create that value proposition so that when you know what value you bring to that real estate agent or that insurance agent or that financial planner, it's going to be easier for you to express it. So if you're a mortgage loan originator, I'm assuming you're a new originator.
No, a totally different industry.
Okay. But really, in any industry, if you know the value proposition that you bring, you'll be able to figure out specifically in the industry of those people that you're talking to, which section of all your value propositions you can identify for them. So the financial planner and the accountant are totally different as far as value propositions and the way they think. And we can go over those in detail, but knowing your value propositions is probably the best thing.
Okay.
Awesome. Good. Other questions? Okay. If you guys want to interrupt, you can. Just in summary, when you're working with a CPA or financial planner, accountant, attorney, insurance agent, builder, doctor, chiropractor, I mean, any type of professional, this is what people, it's like we don't understand often. Like nobody, I have 3 bachelor's degrees in business, 1 in finance, 1 in management, 1 in marketing, and they didn't teach me this. So the average person on the street knows 250 people. The average business owner knows over 5,500 people. Now, in most industries, real estate, financial planning, mortgages, most service industry, there's what's called the database rule of 13. What that means is you take somebody's database, whatever their network, their connection, their clients, their network is, and multiply it times 13. And that's how many people they could refer to you a year. So 5,500 times 0.13 is 715 people a year. So there's so much business opportunity. These referrals that you're going to get from CPAs or any professional referral partner, these are not like internet leads. They're even more powerful often than customer referrals. So an internet lead is going to be about a 3 to, maybe 1 to 3% conversion rate. These leads can be as high as 70 or 80%. So you don't have all of the cost and the time and the wasted time in being able to go through it. So what is, a CPA and really all referrals, what are they looking for? They're looking for 2 things. One is, what is our true intention? Now, obviously, we're in it to grow our business. But you can tell with Chris that he was able to communicate that he cared about the CPA's client. And that's the biggest concern, and that's why most CPAs won't refer business. They're really tough to get in the door because they often kind of think, I have nothing to gain and everything to lose. Well, if you're in a situation where you had nothing to gain and everything to lose, you're not going to refer business to. The other thing that's very intriguing about CPAs is I've been blessed to be an international speaker and author. So I've traveled all around the world. I've written 16 books, over 80 white papers. And CPAs are totally different from other professionals in that if you ask a CPA, are you interested in growing your practice? There will be this dead silence. There will be this pause like, so they often don't want to grow their practice because they equate growing their practice to working additional hours. Kind of like an employee. If we want to make more money as employees, we've got to work more hours. A lot of business owners think that same way. Like, do you want to grow your business? If there's a pause, you can tell that we're thinking, well, to make more money, if I grow my business, I'm going to work more hours, which is not necessarily the case. Like if we have a good, what's called a business operating system, the engine that runs our business where we earn the money we earn, work the hours work, have the stress we do or don't have because of that engine in our business. If we have a properly designed engine, when we grow our business, we have a larger business, more customers, we won't work more, we'll actually work less. But again, that's not something that CPAs and most referral partners, they're not going to think like that. And so when we look at that, like Chris was able to say, listen, I'm going to bring you tremendous value, your customers tremendous value, your clients tremendous value in being able to do that. So the first thing is, what's our intention? And so our intention is all about their clients, their customers. Anyone have any questions on the intention side? Now, what's a little dicey is each of the four personalities, we need to communicate in a little bit different way. So we need to communicate our intentions to the analytic different than the driver, and different to the expressive than the driver, and different to the amiable than the expressive. So if we don't communicate in their language, what turns one personality on will actually turn another personality off. And so what gives one personality pain will actually give another personality pleasure. We tend to like other people who are like us, and we tend to fall in love with people that are opposite. The second thing that people are looking for is our capability. So they might say, well, you're a nice guy, Chris or Mark, but do you have the capability to help my clients? So you have a good heart, you're a caring person, you're not going to take advantage of them, they're going to get good value, they're going to come back, they're going to say nice things about me, referring you to. So our intentions are really important, but our capability, and everything connects back in to those two things, intention and capability. And that's really where the engineered clarity comes into place. In so many ways, it's simple and easy in being able to understand, at least if we have the right tools, systems, partnership, and coaching in place in being able to go through that. So with the analytic, you talk kind of in an outline format, structured format, make sure all your spelling, everything's got to be lined up, everything's got to be perfect. If you're partnering with a driver personality, you got to talk faster. It's bottom line, profit, speed, getting ahead. They probably don't want to talk a lot about your family and your friends and your interests and all of that. Get down to the bottom line. The expressive personality, you're going to want to talk about your family, your friends, their family, their friends. They're going to do business with you because it's fun to do business. The driver will do business with you because it helps them reach their goals. The analytic will do business with you because it makes sense to do business. And the amiable, their greatest strength is their concern, compassion for people. These are ones that often are the hardest to read. They'll tell you nice things like they're going to refer business to you, but then they won't. It's not, they don't look at it as lying, they look at it as being nice to you. So they'll often tell you what they think you want to hear. So they'll do business with you because they trust you. And so each of these, like our intentions, connect back into our personality. Now you might be, if you're going through this, first who are two people that you care about? And pay it forward and share this with two people. When we care, don't say we care about them, but actually care by sharing it with them and say, hey, I'm interested in maybe partnering with you. Wondered if you might go ahead. And again, it's not just CPAs. It's anybody you can pass this along to and say, I'm interested in doing this. Would you be interested in doing it together, with me? So as we mentioned at the beginning of the session, to see success from this session, we need to take action. So often we go through webinars, we go through seminars, workshops, get pumped up, motivated, inspired, and then we don't follow through. Well, that doesn't do us any good at all, does it? The following are 3 simple ways to achieve clarity in an engineered fashion. So one is a free gift 30-minute strategy session. Others is partnering, working with EVAs, executive virtual assistants. And the third is Action Vision Engineering, our boss, our business operating system, the engine that runs our business. So the free gift 30-minute strategy session is provided through Life Masteries Institute and Legacy Partners. And so go through that. If you go to clarity.dnaforsuccess.com, that's clarity.dnaforsuccess.com, and then what you'll do is right here on the over right-hand side, it says special gift. Click there, fill out, I think it's about 14 minutes of questions, and then somebody from Life Masteries Institute, and again, Life Masteries and Legacy Partners are nonprofit organizations. So they want to help you learn how to partner with other businesses and community-based organizations. So if you have any questions on anything we talked about today, for additional information, talk to the individual who invited you to participate in the session, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if you're calling in outside the U.S., you can call the U.S.-based number at 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. Chris, you've been awesome. Life Masteries for sure is going to be inviting you back to talk about how do you partner with financial planners, and then how do you partner with realtors. And there's little nuances that differ. So I've been traveling all around. I travel all over the world, and I've worked with a lot of individuals. And I'm telling you, partnering up with Chris, talking with Chris, this guy's got so much wisdom, insight, and really a process and a system to do that. So I would connect with Chris and talk to him about maybe coming and speaking to, organization or your group, maybe doing some mentoring, some group teaching, those types of things, for sure. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.